Hi, I'm meteorologist Carrie Anderson with Weatherflow. We had a subscriber ask about forecasting marine clouds. Marine clouds are a major issue for windsurfers, kitesurfers, anyone that's using wind on the West Coast, because when these clouds come in, they can absolutely kill the wind. This is looking from Leo Carrillo just the other night, and though you see the beauty up here, this layer, this dark layer here, is an area of marine clouds that have developed, and they are very dense, and if they move in, they will just absolutely kill wind. So let's talk about what you can do so that you can be certain that you don't drive all the way to the beach and find that it's sucked in. So, of course, the very first thing you should be looking at is the satellite picture. And on all of our Weatherflow products, we have access to the satellite. You can access it through this menu here. Go to the regional products. When you get to regional products, you'll see that you have the options to bring up the satellite picture. Of course, it's not going to come up right now. There we go. There we are. And come up with satellite clouds. So the things to be watching here is to first, of course, see if the clouds are over the beach at the time, but make sure you set it into motion and see what is happening during the day. So this is going to go back about 3 hours. And what you're watching for is to see if the clouds are starting to substantially pull back. So along San Francisco here, along the peninsula, the clouds are not moving at all, and they're staying entrenched. But along the north coast, they're actually starting to clear out. And you can see that that pattern is going from the north to the south. Since I'm trained at this, I'm already looking and thinking we've got enough northwesterly winds that's starting to mix it out. So watch that pattern. Find a webcam that you can, of course, take a look at and see what's happening with the webcam and see if the beach is clearing out. But if you want to know a little bit more about the structure of why this happens, so we'll dig in a little bit. And one of the things that you can do is go and look at the profiler report for the area. There's not many of these along the West Coast, but it does kind of teach you some things. So this is looking at Bodega. And what we see here is this is the readings from the surface to up above, up to, in this case, 1,400 meters. And this is looking at the winds. The winds, this is showing direction. And for each long bar, that's 10, I think we're in knots here, maybe miles per hour. So either one, so half would be 5. What I am seeing here is that the winds this was yesterday, were very light. If the winds are light, you're not going to get much mixing. They pick up a bit from the northwest, and then you can see that they really slow down today. Now, the other thing that you're looking at here is the temperature. And for marine clouds to form, we usually need a pretty strong inversion. That means the temperatures are inverted. Usually you're going to see warm air close to the ground. As you get up above, it's going to cool off. If you go to the top of the mountain, it's going to be cooler. That's a normal temperature profile. If we see an inverted temperature profile, that would be cold air down below, which is represented by the blue here, and warm air up above. This air gets trapped down here, and it cools down enough that it hits the dew point, and so the air condenses and a cloud can form. That's how marine clouds form. And if they get too dense, then the sunlight can't actually penetrate through and start to warm the surface. So we need some stronger winds coming in to move them out. Sometimes these will actually get deeper, which is what happened yesterday, because we had an upper level low move through, and that'll actually create a little lift, and so it'll become deeper. So when you take a look at this, take a look and see how deep this marine layer is. If it's really deep, the chance that it's going to clear out is less likely. And as we move to today, you can see it's shallower. And even though the winds aren't that strong, because it's so shallow along this area in Bodega, the clouds do actually clear out because the sun is able to penetrate and get through. So that's one place to look at that. The other place is to look at it on a graph. This is looking at a profile. And this tells me that we had, this line is the temperature, this line is the dew point. When they come together, the air is condensed and that's when clouds can form. The further they are apart, the drier the area is, less likely that a cloud's going to form. So here you can see that the temperature profile goes from the left to the right. That would be an inversion. It's inverted. That's going to mean we have colder air here, warmer air up above, very stable. So I'm watching to see how deep this is here and see if it's going to lift. And I'm also going to be watching to see if during the day these two separate and we start to see drier air at the surface because it's starting to mix out. And this is looking at the same profile a little bit later in the day, and you can see that it does. And this was today, going back to that satellite picture, you can see that the air does dry out. And so it does, the clouds do clear, which is exactly what we saw at Bodega. So there's just a few things for you to look for, so that'll help you if you want to be doing your own forecast. This is a product that's put out just using the National Weather Service data, and you can use it to plot for each location you want. So if you're going to a particular beach, you just move the pin to that beach. You can plot a new sounding and take a look at how it's going to change during the day. And that might help you to be able to make a determination if you think that the clouds have the best chance of clearing out.